Thank you. That's Tim Davis and Owo Arunga. As we said, this is a day of fine arts, a day of music, a day of, Angela, did you bring yours? Presentation? Oh, good. A day of photography, exhibition, and also we're going to hear from some of our amazing artists who are at Evergreen. We're going to hear them in word, and we're going to hear some of them with the symbols and the artwork they have done, so we'll get a chance to see a little bit of everything. And Dr. Mims will be joining us shortly. As she does that, we would like to ask Owur and Tim, and we'll wait for the poem. And would you like to do another song? And then we will do the poem when Dr. Mims returns. Okay. Thank you. That's my firstborn son. Yes. And Tim Davis, our family friend, been in the community for a long time and part of a very strong church in which his family, 12 children, yes, in his family. And so that you know there's got to be some musicians in that group. And Tim and Owur and Geneva is also here, Dada Bass. She goes by Dada Bass. Are you here, Dada Bass? Say hello. Yeah. Okay. Dada Bass is going to do a poem for us when Dr. Mims comes back. That is my last-born child. Yes. All right. Oh, that's your backstage? Okay. And coming to take her seat in the circle is my granddaughter, Anyango. Say hello. It's not often that we get to gather with my family on this campus. Usually they just see me or hear that I'm at work, but they don't know what that means. And so I also would like to go around and just have you say your name, and if you are a friend of Evergreen, an alumni, you know, a student, an administrator, we just want to know who you are and what you're doing here. And we'll start with this person who should not be a stranger to anyone. This is our, what did I name you, the campus? No, the leader, administrator? You say director, former director of Evergreen State.
Yeah, I'm a faculty emeritus.
Yes.
I'm the former director of the Evergreen State College.
Okay. Faculty emeritus and the former director of Evergreen State College, Dr. Joy Hardiman. I was about to promote her, but you can't do that. She's retired. Here you are, and we'll just keep passing. All right.
Good morning, good afternoon, no, it's still morning. My name is Patricia Valentine, and I was a student here maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. It's a great experience.
Grand Rising, I'm Harucha as a man. I'm a friend of Evergreen, grew up right around the corner, and was told to be here by Dr. Mims, so I'm here to enjoy and experience all the wonderful art.
I am Karen Taylor. I am in my third quarter as a new student at Evergreen. I am a survivor of the school to prison pipeline, and this means the world to me. The love that has been shown to me since I arrived at the school. We have been doing it online, but they have loved on me, every faculty, every student almost, and I love it here. And Yeah, I'm an anti-racist organizer in my community. I've been out of prison 17 years. Whoop, whoop. And I love Dr. Hardiman's boots. Them is tight.
Them show is tight. May your day be well and may your night be well. My name is Valerie Hunt, and I am delighted to the bottom of my soul to be here in community. I've been in Arkansas for a hot minute, 2.5 months to be with my elder mother. And I am going to take so many pictures and then tell her, this is what I got to come back home to, that this, even though home is where my people are buried, home is where you see the future and you see how you have been raised yourself. And so I'm so glad to even be growing again with y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Melody Arunga, and Auntie Marsha is my aunt, as she's introduced me. I just moved to the Seattle area from Michigan. I lived here about 20 years ago, and I came back for a job here. I'm a banker, so I'm happy to support my aunt, my cousins, and see what Seattle has to offer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brittany. My pronouns are they and she, and I'm here because I just want to support Dr. Mims and Dr. Joy Hardiman and Mr. Gordon, and I'm a survivor of the child welfare system, so I was in foster care for 17 years, and I was in 17 homes. But I made it through, and I'm here, and I'm a child welfare advocate today, and I'm happy to be here. I went to University of Washington, but I admire this school. I've always wanted to go here. But yeah.
All right. What an honor to follow that kind of testimony. My name is Dexter Gordon. 2 months now into the job of Executive Vice President at the Evergreen State College, and I describe myself as a proud recent addition to the Greener family.
Morning, everyone. My name's Therese Saliba, she, her pronouns. I've been a longtime faculty down in Olympia in Third World Feminist Studies, and I've been serving as VP of Inclusive Excellence and Student Success. I always appreciate the partnership we have with our sister campus in Tacoma. We've done a lot of joint programming, and I draw such inspiration from Dr. Arunga, Dr. Hardiman, from Dr. Mims. You inspire us, you give us strength and inspiration. Thank you so much. I look forward to honoring you today.
Good morning. My name is Jan Keto, and I am faculty emerita like Joy. 1991 is when I joined the college, and so I'm not one of the, how shall I say, foundation faculty. I'm a newcomer, but I did retire in 2005 from the Master in Teaching Program Director. And I am happy to be here sensing, experiencing that evergreen commitment and that welcome, inclusiveness that I remember from all those years ago. And I must tell you, I miss it, and you must keep it. It is just overwhelming to feel that inclusivity. So thank you, and best wishes.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Donna Griffin, and I'm a graduate of 2002. So I've been around for a long time. I just want to say that I'm very happy to be in the building today. So glad that the campus has reopened. I don't know about you guys, but there's so much to offer here. And, you know, I really appreciate and honor Dr. Mims, Dr. Hardiman, Dr. Arunga, and just want to say that you guys are doing an excellent job. And, Dr. Arunga, I see how hard you're working to keep the campus going, and, blessings to you for that.
Hi, my name is Robin Henderson. I am a graduate of 2019. It was the last time we had an here, where we had a graduation here as well as down in Olympia. I'm honored to be here today. I wanted to just to show my face and say thank you to the ladies. Dr. Hardiman is the reason why I came to this school, because she was speaking at a thing at a health seminar, and she told everybody, if you feel like you don't have enough money to come to school, but you want to go to school, come and see me. And I remember sitting in that seminar, and I bust out crying. Now, it wasn't even my seminar. I just went to sing at this seminar, and she says that, and I end up going to her and saying, I want to go to school. And so, so that was in 2005. I came here, they had something called the Bridge Program. So I came to the Bridge Program, and then life took me a different way. And I looked up one day, and there was Maxine Mims somewhere else speaking. And she's also talking about how she had started this program, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I remember that. I ended up coming back in 2017 and getting my bachelor's through here in 2019. And I'm really, really grateful for the influence of these two ladies, of what they have meant to me. And on a side note, Lady Max, what I told you last year, I'm back in school. I had told her I was leaving this particular school, but she told me I had to go back. So I went back, and I'm still working. It's going to be one class at a time. But I'm going for my master's in African American worship music. So I just want to say thank you for that and your influence. And Lady Arunga, thank you, because you have taken over such a beautiful tradition for those of us of color to come in and be able to learn how to be better in what we do, and to share, to come into what we enter to learn and depart to serve. So thank you for that.
Hi, my name's Anyango Arunga, and I'm Dr. Arunga's granddaughter, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
Hey everyone, I'm Stefan. The reason why I'm here, I'm a former Upward Bound student. In Upward Bound, we have classes here. So I was in Upward Bound when I was a sophomore all the way up to being a senior. And my mentor, Gabe, he's a former Upward Bound teacher, and he invited me to be here. So that's why I'm here. So nice to meet you guys.
Hi everyone, I'm Dion Bonner, and I'm a student at Evergreen. And I'm happy to be here. I'm a community artist, and I'm also primarily a oil and acrylic painter and graphic designer. And I feel like I have been connected to Evergreen in so many different ways before becoming a student. And I'm just happy to reconnect. I decided to do an independent learning contract fall because of the community work that I'm doing. And so it's very new to me. And so I thought coming here today is a great way of reconnecting to the college. So I'm happy to be here.
Hello, I'm Kyla Cunningham. I'm actually a child of an alumni here, and I hope to maybe be a student here someday, so that's why I'm here.
Good morning, I'm Meryl Pusey. I'm an alumni of Tacoma, 2017. This is where I gained my power. I would say my confidence. If it wasn't for Evergreen Tacoma, I don't know how or where I would be at right now. And I am currently the Multicultural Initiatives Coordinator at the Olympia campus, and I'm just proud to be here this morning.
Good morning, I'm Sharon Loader, and I'm in my final quarter here. I will get my bachelor's in December. And I want to be an example that no matter how old you are, you can always go back to school and you can always learn. And I'm just wondering if I'm the oldest graduate. I think we should check that out. I'm 71. And this is my first bachelor's, and I went back to school, so yahoo. And Trey and I'm going to say it, Trey, we've got a huge project going. I'm doing an ILC, and it'll be titled My First Broadcast. So once it's going to be a podcast, Trey and I are working on a program to interview students at Evergreen. And you will be a podcast, we'll interview you, and no surprises. You'll get a questionnaire or beforehand, and you can read it, and it will help you formulate your ideas of who you are, what you want to study, whatever. And so they'll be online forever, and they'll be really good for, and I met Donna today, and I'll interview her, and everyone is going to be really good. Okay, there you go.
My name is Shannon. This is my 5th quarter at Evergreen. So I'll graduate in the winter quarter, hopefully. I came today because it's my first time seeing people in person and not on a Zoom screen. Also because I love art, and it said it was about art, and so that's what I'll share.
My name's Betsy Diffendal, and I've been in Evergreen faculty for 30-some years and retired some time ago. It's a long story, let's see. I have taught with Dr. Mims at Evergreen, Tacoma from the early years, from the 1970s, and I can only say I love this campus. It is the most meaningful work I think I've ever done, and I am so grateful to see it continuing. And one of the things that I most respect about Dr. Mims is her mentorship of wonderful women and others to direct this campus and to keep this thing going, and kind of watching how she models not just starting a good idea, but ways to keep that growing and going. And her connection to the community and to the young people that she identifies and pulls out and continues to cultivate is really a gift that is hard to overestimate. So I am very glad after all these many years to be here and share this with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful introduction. And before we hear from Dr. Mims, I'm going to ask Tim and O'War to play another song. And then we would love to hear a poem from you, Geneva. And we will then begin, we'll get back to Dr. Mims. Thank you. Tim Davis and Owura Arunga, thank you so much.
Hello. Okay. How are you guys feeling? Good. This poem is called Shackles. Growing up in this world, police harassing. Baby brother so insecure, he got a gun to start blasting. Don't ask him no questions, cause all he's been taught is lies, and you can tell he's going through it by the look in his eyes. I realize my baby brother's so much potential, but his physical environment got a hold of his mental. He's no longer attempting to push his threshold with a heartbeat so slow that his blood runs cold. Still young, but by the size of his gun, he's mistaken for old. What can I do to break my baby brother's chains and free his soul? I've been told you can't uncage a bird who doesn't want to be free, but once he gets a chance at freedom, that's what he'll want to be. And when I talk about freedom, I don't mean financial, because material things worldwide can be dismantled. I'm talking knowledge, untangible. Get it as yours. They can't take it or break it. It's unshakable. Thank you.
Oh no, this one is Pretty Women Wonder. There you go. Where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a supermodel size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step and the curl of my lips. See, I am a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellas stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing of my waist and the joy in my feet. See, I am a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. And when I try and show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, and the grace of my style. See, I am a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me coming, it ought to make you proud. See, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need for my care. See, I am a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Thank you. Yes. That's Donna Bass. Tim Davis, and Owa Arunga. Thank you so much. Thank you for that rendition of Maya Angelou. Phenomenal woman. And speaking of a phenomenal, oh, you doing another one? Is this Dear America? Okay, they can't leave without doing Dear America, so let's hear this one out.
Letter of resignation. America, I've loved you ever since I was a child. The thought of being near you, it would make me smile. See, I flew miles just to call you home, but you took me for granted like a possession you own. The freedoms that you offer, they cost me every day. And it's something you always remind me that you can take away. People dying in the war, people shot up on the blocks, my people chased down and shot face down by the cops. It's got to stop. America, the land of blood on its hands and black life forget-me-nots. Killing you, killing me, killing. That's all I ever see. And if I'm too smart, I'm too white. And if I'm too black, I'm not right. I gotta work twice. Plus, I'm a woman, so I gotta work thrice. Labels like mad black woman just don't fit me right. They can't figure me out. It must be draining. America, you should pay me just to keep track of all the stereotypes that you see in me every day. It's a disaster. They tell us to pull our straps up. We pull ourselves up. They call us bastard like they're moving fast, see? Because they don't want to see us move past them. From Katrina to Black Wall Street, Oscars to the Grammys, America, I see you. You can't stand me. Proud of my melanin. In fact, if I had a choice in the next life, I'd come back black again. Because frankly, all I see, ass shots and lip injections like we weren't born from the best perspectives. They used to shame us till we lost it. Now they charging us to get it. Call it boss chick. That sound like more than just a spending habit. This is sad shit. Trying to get established in a world that laughs at us. Dear America, I love you, but I gotta find a way to keep from going crazy, feeling like I'm in a daze. See this image that you made me and made me see? I can't keep being the scapegoat. I can't keep being the punching bag. Same old tired stories like that's all we ever had. Nah, fuck that. I'm beautiful, I'm black, and you can see that. While my people are silenced, treating us like we're mindless, we define our blackness. Our blackness don't define us. Dear America, I love you, but I don't know what else to say except we can't go on this way.
Database. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ooh, for your morning enjoyment. I hope you're enjoying yourself. All right. I want to thank Brittany and I want to thank Kayla for taking up the food. Meryl, thank you. You brought them in the door and you all just swung into action. So please thank them. They were your servers today. All right. And without further ado, here's Dr. Maxine Mims.
Good morning. Good morning. What do you all want to do? It's Saturday and we've eaten, we've heard music. It's time to go to sleep. It's time for a nap. But I'm going to ask a friend of mine, Heru, to, if you would, say something, bring us to a level of learning or understanding or a level of consciousness, whatever you think will help us be better people when we leave this space. Thank you.
Peace and blessings, family. How's everyone doing? Well? Good. Beautiful music, beautiful sharing today. And we're here, we're opening this campus back up, right? And we've been separated for a couple of years now. We've been isolated, we've been stressed out, we've been experiencing anxiety, frustrations, being alone, masked up, trouble breathing, right? And not been able to be free in who we are completely. So let's take some time to rediscover the breath. As we go through our frustrations, as we go through our challenges, as we go through our trials and our struggles, we often find ourselves breathing in our chest. When we're scared, we're breathing in our chest. When we're nervous, we're breathing in our chest. When we're worried, we're breathing in our chest. We have to move the breath back down to our abdomen. So if you don't mind, let's work on a little bit of breath work today and create a space, opening up some chi, opening up the space and really welcoming back healing, growth, learning, success in this space. So if you don't mind, would you place your feet flat on the floor? Put down the phones, purses, and things. And if you don't mind, you can play something soft in the background. If you have something available, feel free. Hands on your knees. Let's sit up straight. Find a place in front of you, looking across the room, and slowly draw the vision back into your head and close the eyes softly, if that's okay. Tongue tip is at the upper gum line behind the front teeth, and let's begin to breathe in through the nose slowly as the lower abdomen expands. And as we breathe out, the lower abdomen will contract gently. So breathe in and slowly breathe out. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. And continue to breathe in and very gently breathe out. Let's relax the head, willing the head and face to relax as we breathe in and slowly breathe out. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, working our way down the arms, relaxing the arms, the forearms, the hands. Stretch the fingers apart and relax the fingers and hands.
As we continue to breathe in through the nose and breathe out gently, relax the chest, the upper back, the torso, abdomen. Relax the hips. Relaxation in mind, relaxing the legs, the knees, the calves, ankles. Wiggle the toes and relax the feet. Awareness is inside of the body. Feel the emptiness and spaciousness within. Slowly expand this awareness out to the circle here, to the campus, Tacoma, Pierce County, King County, the state of Washington, America itself, the world, the universe, expanding the mind to the universe, becoming one with the universe. Slowly draw the awareness back to the body. Open to the great universe with reverence, with respect, with gongjing, thankfulness. Allow the bright universe to nurture the heart with compassion and love. Feeling relaxed, feeling free, and feeling joyful. The life force, chi, kundalini, ra, flowing freely through the body. Invite others here who are not here now. See the campus robust, vibrant, celebratory, learning facilitated, growth facilitated, change, harmony, empowerment, diversity, an inclusive space of healing and learning and education. Invite those people into this space, giving access to this knowledge and understanding, this wisdom, this ancient wisdom, as we breathe in through the nose, expanding the lower abdomen, and breathe out. Realize that this is your natural state of being. And you can recall it any time, in any place, in any situation, any challenge. Just breathe in through the nose into the lower abdomen and softly breathe out. This is your essential, natural state of being. You're created in an image of peace that nothing can disturb. You have access to unlimited potential, unlimited knowledge, unlimited understanding. And when you are able to breathe in through the nose and breathe out gently, you generate a power and a strength that nothing can oppose. This power gives you the ability to heal yourself, to heal your community, to heal your family, to heal your environment, your world. And it's contagious. So remember to breathe in. Nice. And breathe out. Slowly spread your hands to the side and gather all of that knowledge and that wisdom and draw it back to the belly. Placing your hands crossed on the lower abdomen, nourishing your life force, nourishing your chi, nourishing your ra, nourishing your kundalini. As you breathe in and breathe out. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes and be at peace.
Thank you. I have a couple of things to share. We do. Go ahead.
You're not ready.
I'm ready all the time. but you go do what you need to do.
First of all, thank you, Heru. Beautiful. And you got to be a meditator to know a meditator. So thank you for that music. That was beautiful accompaniment. So, you know, the reason why we called people together today is because this is the first time we're actually able to enter the building in more than 20 months now. And we are so grateful that we're able to come in, share a meal together, and to honor the founder. This is not something that we can do all the time. We are so blessed to have our founder with us. So every opportunity we can get to honor her and honor this building, we want to do it. So I want to thank you for Strong Bones. And she's 93 years young. Can you just give her a clap for that? Yes. Yes. Yes, and thank all of you who took time to come and be with us. This is really, to me, a historic moment. It's a very special time that we can come and gather here in this space, and with just an idea that started with Dr. Mims. And we know that many of us have had ideas. Many of us are on journeys that a seed has been planted, and we're on that journey of the seed. And this, for Dr. Mims, where we sit today, what we think about, what find important in our learning, is because of that seed she planted 50 years ago. And so we just want to just be honored that she's alive and well here to honor this day, to declare that Evergreen State College Tacoma is open, and that we are strong and vibrant, and that we have a founder. The African parable says that when the elders are present, we know that we are safe. And so when we see Dr. Mims coming in the door, we know that we're going to be all right. We know that we're okay. We can sit in this space and take time to meditate on a Saturday. We can share a meal together on a Saturday. And the same part of that parable is that when the children are present, we know we have a future. And I also say when the students are present, we know we have a future. So can we please make sure that we are enjoying today and sharing the good news? I now want to introduce to you Dr. Valerie Hunt. She's not new to you, but what you may not know is that she is a magnificent poet. And so we have asked Valerie to come and share some thoughts with you. So if we may, I'll turn that over to her.
No, beloved elder, I would not want you to turn around, not at all. Oh, surely. I'm going to do it from all around, if I may. Magnificent poet, oh my goodness. But I do dream in poetry, and I do think in poetry. Yet this is one of the moments I decided that I wanted to write things down because my family said that what I write down I should share with the community. So I've written, because sometimes, as you all know, some poets will change their words on different days, depending on who's here. I still might do that, and you know how they go. But I want to give this as a gift to everyone here, and I encourage everybody to capture their words, nurture their words, and write them down, not because the written word is the only word, but write them down because when we make transition, we want to still have your words in the way you wanted us to feel them words. Okay? That's what my family told me to do. So from my family to y'all. Let me just see if I can look like this. Beloved Dr. Mill, peace and blessings from my mother, my beloved father, who is an ancestor, my ancestor Mary B, who is Cersei Lee, my ancestor Rebecca and Mary, and that as far as I can go with my mother's mother. And then I bring you blessings and greetings from my mother's father's people who are earnest to the will, and that is as far as I can go. I bring you blessings and greetings from all Mississippi Delta folk, all Arkansas folk, okay? I probably still smell like mosquito spray. I'm trying to get off me, but I bring you blessings from Richard Hunt Jr., Richard Hunt Sr., Juanita K. Bowman, Oldie Morris, who was of the Osage tribe, and I also bring you blessings from Richard Hunt Sr., and that is as far as I go. And I also in my 2.5 months that I am going to find the 7 generations. So I bring their names to you because I have no one here. They're very clear, and they told me to say, thank you. Do I need this?
Yeah. You need it for the recording. Streaming.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Hardiman, because that's why I ask. All right, folks. May your day be well, and may your night be well, and all the moments in between. May your day and your night be well, because no day is promised, and life is unpredictable. And so for the people who made it possible for you to have a day to be well, make that day well and take care of the future. Okay? And the future is also needing to be taken care of by the present. I don't know if you're close to 30, but she's a little closer to 10. So that makes you be the keeper for the future. And I thank you for that. Greeting good people doing good things in a good way. I would like to express my deep gratitude for being allowed to share in the mysteries called space and time. Thank you, brother, for bringing mysteries of space and time with your community of Evergreen State College, Tacoma. Thank you, beloved Dr. Mims, who you know you're like the sun to me. I'm always walking like this, and I'm never humble. I am a phenomenal woman. But when it comes to Dr. Mims, I'm like, she's so, child, quit that. But yeah, that's how we were reared in the Mississippi. If somebody's that kind of elder in your community, you think twice before you even get close to the house. So I would also like to thank all of the people who made it possible for me to be here, and that is also Dr. Joy Hardiman, Executive Vice President Dexter Gordon, but most especially my good dear sister by another mother, Dr. Marcia Tate Arunga. Because without you, I would not have been able to bring my mother's voice here. My mother and I cried until 2 o'clock in the morning when I got on a plane yesterday. But she said, I know you're gonna bring us into the room. And so I thank you for that. And so my name, but before I say that, let me say that because this is right. This is what I have to say. Thank you for inviting me to share some received words in honor of your celebration of our beloved founder on Founders Day. I thank and honor the children, the keepers, and the ancestors. My name is Valerie Faye Hunt, and I am daughter of beloved Murdy Strickland Hunt and beloved ancestor Richard Hunt. Some of my I ams are these. I am an elder in my family, which tells you that many in my family have succumbed to diabetes and heart attacks and shootings. If I, in my 60s, am an elder in my family. I'm a healer in my communities, secret healing that's not so secret because it's part of the medical industrial complex. You all talk about scientific literacies. I'm a steward of the beloved community at Seattle Central College. And by beloved community, I mean a community that is interracial, intergenerational, a democracy where beloved ancestor John Lewis called it a nation that is at peace with itself. And what beloved Coretta Scott King spoke into the ears of her husband, it wasn't him, it was her, came up with this. But the end is reconciliation, and the end is redemption, and the end is the creation of a beloved community. It's a type of spirit and type of love that can transform opposers into friends. Now, it takes a long time, but you know how to go. And what beloved Desmond Tutu has also called that we are part of a great transformation. Our survival as a species is threatened by global warming, economic meltdown, and an ever increasing gap between the rich, the very poor, and beyond the very poor. Where I grew up, well, that's another day. Yet these threats offer an opportunity to awaken an intergenerational and beloved community. I'm a political scientist, a poet, essayist, and in all of these I ams, I possess and exercise an insatiable curiosity. All that is that I endeavor to serve as a truth seeker, a truth teller, and a witness bearer. These are my primary literacies of transformation. I was born in this land called the United States of America, an indigenous person whose ancestors were stolen from the continent called Africa, and whose blood has been bound by birth to the indigenous peoples on this land called the United States. I was born in what in a settler and trade language calls Session 67 of the Treaty of 1808 of the United States government with the Osage Nation, part of what the trade language calls the Louisiana Purchase, and what is now called the state of Arkansas. The genocidal walk of indigenous souls on this land, which is now called the Trail of Tears, passes a few miles from where I and my four sisters, parents, and parents and parents and parents of parents were born. I speak trade language. I dream and receive prophetic voice in many languages and literacies when the ancestors allow me into the palace of dreams. And I'm gonna tell you something, I had not been in the palace of dreams in years until I went back to Arkansas. I cannot tell you what it was like to be in the palace of dreams when the ancestors let you in and they let you see beyond time. I feel so blessed. I took a one-way ticket. If you're in education, you know you can't. I usually take a one-way ticket to go home because somebody's always pulling your hair. But I said, you know what? Because I got a 3-minute phone call from Dr. Mims. She says, what's wrong with you? I've been trying to find you. Okay, now that I found you, all right, is that what's wrong? Well, if that's what's wrong, you got this? Oh, I said, yes, ma'am, I got this. She said, well, because we're keeping things confidential. I said, yeah, I get this. She said, well, what you waiting on? Well, if it's money, you need to stop. Start flat broke. That'll give you some perspective. Talk to you later. Click. So I knew then that I was going to have to like do something a little different. So a one-way ticket gave me a sense of perspective. Thank you, Dr. Mims. Instead of staying 6 days to see my mother, I went home, saw the ancestors and everybody else for 2.5 months. I was there for 10 weeks, not 6 days. Thank you. It gave me a sense of perspective. And so, to get back, dreaming in many language and being able to be allowed into the palace of dreams. The language of my indigenous ancestors is buried in dreams and snatches of stories that people related to me or I heard because I was curious, no, because I was a nosy child. One story that haunted me for over 50 years is a story told to my grandmother, Circe Lee, whose grandmother told it to her. This is what I call the literacy of lamentations. The literacy of lamentations. We need to get together because, you know what, we like alliteration. I call this the literacy of lamentations and call and response tradition. The story is about a woman living in the deep back part of the St. Francis, which is the Mississippi River has all kinds of rivers that come off of it. And if you live in the bottomland, you get flooded all the time. So this woman, who was a friend, a childhood friend of my grandmother's grandmother, told her this story. And my grandmother told me that her grandmother said that the woman had lost sight of her beloved child and went looking for her. And upon finding her, she cried out her anguish, her desolation, and her pain. As she looked, she went to the river, but she couldn't find Becky. So she went to the smokehouse. She couldn't see Becky. She went past the outhouse. Couldn't find Becky. And then she went to the well. She couldn't see Becky. Then she went to the cistern. Some of y'all don't know what a cistern is. For those of us who live in bottomland, you got to have a couple of different ways of getting and keeping water clean, because you got animals and your family to water, particularly through the winter. But when she went to the cistern, I went to the cistern, and there was Becky. My poor Becky, she was dead. She was dead and gone. But those children, my grandmother's grandmother, when they heard this, their literacy of lamentation was, I went to the river, but I couldn't see Becky. So I went to the back house, but I couldn't find Becky. So I went to the outhouse, but I couldn't see Becky. Then I went to the well, but I couldn't see Becky. But I went to the cistern, and there was Becky. Poor Becky was dead. She was dead and gone. The children witness, children, future witness, and they gave voice in a way that this poor woman's lamentation over finding her drowned baby girl transformed it into a history so visceral. Thank you, brother. So that is where the Kundalini fire, it was so visceral, so powerful, so universal that mere words or an obituary could never capture. Are all literacies transformational? Are all literacies transformational? What do we mean by transformation? I have read that this beloved community of practice plans to spend the whole coming year excavating several literacies. I hope to be invited as a spectator or a player or anything, because I'm always enjoying to tell my mama how we do it, how we people of darker color do it over here in the PNW. My first thought when I saw your work was, what is the purpose of any literacy of transformation? Now, I would submit that literacies are intentional, but not all are intended to be transformational. I would, as beloved Reverend Martin Luther says, I continue to sin boldly by pointing out that transformation is a concept that has many incarnations, but a very elusive spirit. It is usually framed as positively valence, meaning if something is transformative, it must inherently be a good thing. Transformational leaders are good leaders. Transformative power is power for good. Transformational practices. But sister girl, is that always the case? I have close friends who have served in the military, even one of them driving me at 2 o'clock in the morning from Arkansas to Memphis, confessing his love to me for the first time. And I'm just trying to get to the airport, okay? But he said, I had a crush on you. But he was in the military. But we were talking about how in his service, he does not think of that. He was transformed by his service. But he would not consider it to have been a good thing. Now, bring me back and I'll tell you about that story another day. 2 o'clock brings out everything in somebody. So, therefore, my curiosity compels me to embrace a literacy while at the same time peeling back its skin. I poke the bear of transformations to see if it will stand up 12 feet tall and chase me up a tree, or if it'll cuff me enough to keep practice and transformation. There, I call them transformation. All my literacies and practices are to know and surrender to the present moment, thereby allowing me healing. I don't use the singular. We always speak as we. And releases us to the delicious perils of being and becoming at the subatomic level. Like heat energy, the present moment changes us from ice melting into the mysteries revealed in transformation. The Vietnamese national poem called Tale of Q, I advise you, if you ever have a chance, pick it up sometime. The heroine is representative of all that is good in the Vietnamese national spirit. And one of the lines that always sticks with me is, only now do I see what is here before me. Yet from the first, my heart could feel for sure the days to come. Arriving in the now, I see the here. Arriving in the now, I see the here. It is much like the Zulu community knitting and re-knitting greeting of Sawubona. Sawubona, I see you. I respect you. I care for your worth and your dignity. And then the response is, Shiboka, I am here to be seen. Because you see me, I am. I'm here to be seen. Because you see me, I am. That makes sense. When I'm back at Arkansas, you can't walk down the street without saying, hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? The first time I came to CL, I said this to somebody, they wanted to cross the street. Now, I know I could have kicked some being very respectful, but not in the point that someone would have to walk across the street and not even want to speak to me. To not be seen for my particular literacies for interrogating and interbeing in the world, with the cosmos, with you. Of transformation. That's why I thought I knew that the ancestors said, talk to each other and said, okay, this is what I need to be doing. Because there are different realms of literacies where transformation dwells, and it's foundational. Physics, biology, human interaction, human development, spiritual creation, and the natural world. Given what you privilege and what you ignore, transformation can quickly become what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther calls a bifurcated exodon. I love getting that off my tongue. Bifurcated exodon. It's a hermeneutic that upon death, your soul is either back powerful, because when you say it is so, it doesn't stray too far out of the margins, like if some of our shades. So each of you scholar activists here in this community has their own suchness. You can have benchmarks, what you deem to be something that has been transformed or transformational. Yet the natural world tells us loudly and clearly that transformation is impermanent. It is impermanent. Transformation, the natural world, tells us loudly and clearly that transformation, as we as humans being, understanding it's impermanent. So in human relations, are we forever changed by our own transformation through the process of being educated and educating? Even Mount Tacoma, I guess Mount Tacoma's all around us. Solid, steady, formidable. When you think of Mount Tacoma, what do you think of, beloved? Mount Tacoma, what do you think when you think of Mount Tacoma? Mount Tacoma, Mount Rainier, I forgot. is Mount Tacoma, trade language for Mount Tacoma is rainier. Yes. Yeah, so what do you think about when you think of Mount Tacoma?
I just think that it's just magnificent, and when the weather's right and the air is clear, it is magnificent.
Yes.
And it is snow-capped, and it is just beautiful.
And it's pretty constant in that magnificence, and that snow-capped. When everything that seems to be changing, it's always going to be magnificent. But even Mount Tacoma is in a state of flux by virtue of Mount Tacoma being in touch with the mother magma of this earth. Even Mount Tacoma. So our beloved ancestor Octavia Butler tells us that there is nothing new under the sun, but there are new suns. Perhaps we educators or curious explorers with a quiver of literacies, we truth seekers, we truth tellers, we witness bearers, our dynamic is not to identify and then deploy a proven literacy of transformation. Perhaps we are more in need of recognizing and accepting the impermanence of transformations and what different literacies are preferred literacies. Thank you, brother, for saying several different ways of talking about fire in the belly, because that lets us know that there are some traditions that use a language that is thousands of years old, speaking about Kundalini is one, fire in the belly is another, the key. But that does not take away from that transformative power. Perhaps we need to be recognizing and accepting the impermanence of the transformation, and our preferred literacies can give us some purchase on the magnificence. Fist bump. The magnificence on what Japanese philosophers call wabi-sabi, perfect imperfection. Not perfect imperfection. Now, in my own words, I would comfort all of us by saying, don't despair, just have care. Don't despair, just have care. Don't despair, just have care when wielding literacies, when searching for the good. Beloved Lucille Clifton with her poem, The Lesson of the Falling Leaves. Today is the second day of October, and all of the royalty of fall is resplendent like beloved Dr. Marsha Taylor Arunga. The lesson of the falling leaves. The leaves believe such letting go is love. Such love is faith. And such faith is grace. Such grace is God. And I agree with the leaves. I'm a lifelong student of political and social behavior and institutional decision making. This is another literacy. Oh, okay. 2 more minutes? 2 more minutes? Okay. So let's do this. No. I am going to take a moment and speak to one thing, and then I will leave the whole of this. But what I'm going to speak to right now is this, that I wrote a poem from a literacy that I call that of impermanence. Who will bring me ginger tea? Who will make me ginger tea? Slice the root into discs so thin I can see the other side of the world through them. The rhythm of the knife against the thick wooden block of a cutting board, comforting me like a sounder in winter, easing the brow of a sailor whose eyes strain against the winter fog. In winter, even the sounds need thawing out before they can become real again, before we can taste them. Imagining a morning first light so flat it drags yesterday's twilight along after it, unburdened by its ascent. Ginger smells like sunshine, and lemons apologize for standing out in the gray, greasy, sooted wallpaper behind the cook stove. And my grandmom's father's sister, gray, greasy, and sooted from the burning coal oil, her crippled dark hand reaching for the pot of hot water. For I'm sick, stove up. The phlegm, a restless animal racing up and down my chest with each breath I take. Yet she intends to tend to me, granddaughter of her favorite niece, a woman barely able to walk, her legs crippled and her back bent. At night, she asked me to thread the needle with the coarse, cheap thread that feels like horsehair, turn the covers on her side of the bed, move the commode so she can reach it at night without kicking it over, crawl in on my side of the bed, both of us gray, sooty, both of us kin, and akin to the light, to the dark, awaiting healing that may never come. May you be blessed by all of the interrogations that you take with your literacies of transformation. I dedicate this to my North Star, Dr. Maxine Mims, and my mother and my grandmother. Thank you.
Dr. Valerie Hunt. Yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing that intellectual thought to us on this day. It's been such a pleasure to sit and listen to you. Now, you see, this is really what Evergreen should be. And on a Saturday, we are engaged in this intellectual thought. And just sitting around the fire. Well, the fireside, the fire center, something like that. So we have the marimbas, the Zambuco, the marimbas are outside. But before we go out there to enjoy that time, it is now time. Dr. Mims? The marimbas are outside. When we're leaving, we're going to be able to we want you to get your exercise. You've had your meditation, you've had your breakfast, you've had your intellectual discourse. No, we can't go outside first before we really engage in your final reflections of today, what it means to open the building of Evergreen. And by the way, if you don't know, you were in the Mims, Dr. Maxine Mims, Joy Hardiman Lyceum Hall. That's where we are. And I would be remiss to not acknowledge Dr. Dexter Gordon, our Executive Vice President. Yes, and we hope you'll say a word or two at the end, which is going to come soon. And also Vice President of Inclusion and Excellence for Student Success, I'm getting there, Therese Saliba. Yes, and I'm just so grateful that Dr. Hunt could join us all the way from Seattle Central College. That was my former college. I called it my flagship for many years because I just went to many colleges, but I always ended up at Seattle Central and became a colleague of Dr. Hunt. And people look for her words. She's such a wordsmith, so honored to have you here today. Okay, Dr. Mims, is it open yet?
What?
Evergreen State College Tacoma building.
I don't want the marimbas to leave.
Oh, the marimbas are not going anywhere until we are done here. They're out there getting ready for you.
Well, the reason I wanted them to stay is because Dumi, the person that brought this model to this section of the country came from South Africa, and I hired him at Evergreen. I brought Dumi to Evergreen, and I've known Sherry since she was a very, very young woman. And if you're going to have an opening, and if you're talking about transformation and all that kind of stuff, it is not that. Thank you. That was wonderful. That was an intellectual discourse. And that's what you experience. And you can also always feel free to be bored or be happy when you're hearing a lecture. But keep your eyes open, but don't forget to be bored or be happy. Boredom causes brilliance. You really sometimes want to be bored. You don't always want to be so stimulated that you can't be bored. Bored causes creativity and genius. And this is where we mess up a lot with our children. Our children will come to us as little things and say, Mommy, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Well, you just say, stay bored. And they will create something. So always when you're listening to a lecture, like you heard from Dr. Hunt, be bored, because there's a lot you can take away from that, okay? And I know a lot of you were bored. No, seriously, because on an opening day of all schools, everybody is sitting in the room. They're bored. You're bored. We have to acknowledge certain things and own certain things so we can change them. I don't know what else to say. I'm ready for the marimbas to go out there and but I want to welcome you. This is so exciting to me, but what I had planned to do, I'll do just a little bit of it right now. I want to introduce Betsy and Joy. We started out together at Evergreen. I started out in 72, and I think you all came in 75. 75, these two, and Betsy was my dean. So what I thought, Marcia, could you change seats with Betsy? Yes. Betsy, come. What I thought I could do for just a few minutes is spontaneously, I haven't called on them to do anything, is to just get you to be excited, take 3 or 4 minutes about learning. Betsy will introduce her discipline, Joy, you introduce yours. And then I'll come with some final words and welcome you. So Betsy lived next door when I started the school. I was at 1007 North Prospect Street. Betsy was at 1005. And in order to have the students believe that they were... Please use the mic in your face. Oh! Because the mic is recording. It's not so much for them to hear. Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Betsy was at 10:05, and what would happen is the students would be at my house in the kitchen, and then it was time for them to change to the next department. I imagined various departments. And they would go next door, and Betsy's house was the other department. So we created our own campus, we created our own departments, and we had our own faculty. What fun. Betsy, just talk a little bit. Don't take too long, and enjoy, would you? Okay. And this is how we did it in the beginning. We just, for instance, I was thinking, it's so sad that we're so traditionally oriented. There were so many parts of Dr. Hunt's speech that I wanted to interrupt her. Because in order to grow, you have to have that interruption, which we're taught is rude, but oftentimes you just want to stop right then and then, ask a question. Don't you feel like that a lot? Particularly when you don't understand, because it's right there. But in Evergreen, that's what we learned to do in a very polite way. We formed a faculty delivery, and then we learned how to interrupt each other with our disciplines, because it would take 4 or 5 disciplines to solve one problem. And that was the new thing, and they called it coordinated studies. We've taken out the interruption in a very sophisticated way of allowing students to right then and there say, I need you, just like that. Okay, Betsy, and if you go too long, I'll interrupt you. Okay. All right. What we got to do?
Dr. Shepard wants to join in on this. She's on the screen.
Hello, Gilda.
Wherever you are.
Oh. Okay, she can't talk, all right. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Betsy Diffendal. Dr. Betsy Diffendal. Oh, the mic.
That's right.
Oh.
Yes, well,
I'm glad I'm not teaching that.
yeah. There's a reason that we stopped teaching formally, all of us. Yes, I guess it's very hard to know where to start here, other than to say that Joy and I were younger and newer at all of this than Dr. Mims, and she sort of got us going with all of this, and interrupted us plenty. And as we were trying to learn and think about what to do, that we were hired at Evergreen, and we all lived in Tacoma, and she was beginning this program in Tacoma while the campus was in Olympia. And so that's how we began, sort of in our homes. And Dr. Mims would recruit various people that she would meet anywhere and invite them to come to Evergreen, come to college, and to come to her kitchen. And pretty soon her kitchen was very full, and she thought that my kitchen would be a good addition. So we moved some of that next door, and I was young and had a I'm an anthropologist, right, which is a field that has been, how do you say, it's a very youth.
People of color.
No, it studied everybody. It studied everybody. But what it mostly did that was useful for me was that it focuses on working in the field rather than reading about things all the time. It suggests you need to see what a community is like. You need to try to step in without being in the way, in a way that you come to understand the rules of the game, if you would, in different communities, and what's valued and what's appreciated, and how are children raised, and all of those things. So it's a very hands-on kind of field in which you sort of put your own self and what you understand about the world in one place, and recognize that there are so many different worldviews, and you need to really spend time being among people to understand how that worldview has come to be, and what's valued there, and how those things can come together in a way that's very helpful and useful. So I was very interested in Evergreen being an experimental college, and it seemed to me in the 1970s that one of the most important things was to broaden the notion of what college was and could be, and also to invite in people who traditionally were not so easily able to come into college the way it had always been. So when Dr. Mims suggested that let's broaden this community, let's see what we can get in and take advantage of this flexibility that Evergreen has at its beginning, I was very interested to participate in any way I could in that idea. And so that's part of it.
And what attracted me to Betsy was something that I wish I had captured and wrote about. I don't feel like doing it now. Betsy, being a white woman, did not show any fragility. She stayed a white woman, which allowed me to be a black woman, and I've always trusted her. I trusted her with students, and I trusted her to be herself, which allowed other people to be themselves. And she allowed herself to be white and a deed, and I was able to be a black woman and the executive director here. And it was just wonderful. You just were never fragile and crying when I said, shut up, you know. And as a result of that, it gave me a lot of freedom to be close to Joy. I just admire Joy so much. If I had another life, I would want to be Joy. And so Joy, I was the person that I wanted from the very time that I met her to be the person that would follow me here, and it did happen. So Joy.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. What a high compliment. As soon as you said that, my mask flew off my mouth. You know, she wants to be you. Whoa. Yeah, I just want to say one thing before I say what I'm supposed to say. Betsy not only, how many people here are Tacoma graduates or in Tacoma? Raise your hand. All right, and you know one of the requirements here is research methodology and statistics. And that happened because one of the things in terms of Maxine, Dr. Mims interrupting our lives is she told both Betsy and myself and another woman named Sally Rewall, who was the writing teacher, that we could not teach we could not teach at the Tacoma campus unless we had our PhDs. So we all went back to school at the same time. While we were teaching here, all three of us were working on our PhDs. And it was so hard, you know, in some way of going back. And we were having to do research methodology and statistics. And we said, oh, these are important courses. So the reason why the requirements here is because we were going through the process and realized that if we could equip our students with at least the vocabulary of research methodology and the vocabulary of statistics, then they probably would not have to go through the horrors that we were going through when we were trying to work on our degrees. So you can blame us for your requirements, but we did it out of love. So as you're taking that statistics class, just know that it was done by love. I guess what I want to say about the opening, should I say something about anything? Anything. Okay. This is called the reopening of the Tacoma campus because, as Dr. Arunga said, it has been closed for a very long time. And buildings have spirits. And buildings, and they like to be loved, and they like to be taken care of. And the building was very, very sad for all of this time. But then Dr. Tate said, no, it's time for a renaissance. It's time for a new beginning. So Big T over there, Therese, and Marsha and I smudged the building. We got a cowbell and started ringing around the parking lot. And all the people without homes came out of their tents and stuff like that to see what these crazy women were doing, ringing a cowbell. But we were clearing the air. We were clearing the space for learning to happen. And we were trying to get things not just to go back to where they were in the beginning, because going back to the norm, we know, is not necessarily a good thing for all of us. The norm was not that much fun, with people being murdered in the streets and people having COVID and injustice and all those things that have to do with the norm. But we wanted to bring it back to a new beginning. We wanted to turn. We wanted to turn toward the sky, turn toward ascension, not just get caught in the same place going around and around and around and around. We wanted to ascend. And so this was a perfect way. I want to thank the staff here for reopening the building with beautiful music, reopening the building with breath, reopening the building with the ancestors all the way from Mississippi. I heard you, and they were all here. And so that's kind of what I want to say, is that it's going to be a really great year. I love what you said about transformation, because the theme, every year we have a theme on the campus, and the theme this year is transformational literacy. And I think you dropped some seeds for us to think about it in different types of ways, particularly that transformation is constantly recurring every single moment, every single day. That's why we want to acknowledge the sun as often as we can, to acknowledge the idea that we can self-create ourselves. Every single day we can go through life, death, and rebirth every single day. And so there's always hope. There's always abundance just waiting for us if we acknowledge it, if we embrace it. And I thank you, Dr. Mims, for being our sun, for reminding us every day, sometimes in painful ways, sometimes in nice ways, you know, that we have the potential for growth, that we have the potential for ascension, and the purpose of that is to serve the community, is to make the world a better place as we make ourselves better people. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. It's 10 minutes to 1, Marsha, and it goes from 10 to 1? It's 10 minutes to 1 now. Is there anybody else that would like to say anything? Laurie, it's good to see you back. I think that's Laurie, isn't it? Yeah, good to see you. Thank you.
Okay. Can I? Okay. No, I think we're going to wrap it up because Zambuco is out there and they're excited to play for you. So I just want to ask you all, as we exit here and they're playing their lovely, lovely music. Oh, as they're playing their lovely, lovely music, would you please make sure you dance? You will be blessed by at least one dance. Okay, and I'd like to ask Dr. Gordon to close us out. Unless you have another thing you'd like to say, Dr. Mims. You're getting warmed up, Dr. Mims? Oh, who? Karen, yes, of course. All right, and then we will have Dr. Gordon close us. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm just going to sing. You are my sunshine. You brighten up my life. Ooh. I know that I'm not right sometimes, but oh, I need you so. Oh, you're something special. Yeah, yeah. You prove it all the time. Ooh. I know that you are mine, all mine. You never let me down. Oh, I just want to thank you, yeah. And I just want to thank you, yeah. I just want to thank you, yeah. 'Cause you made it this way. Oh, you made it this way. Thank you.
Karen, is this your first time in the building? Okay. This is our current student, Karen Taylor, and thank you for your voice. I was asking her, is this your first time in the building? But this is your first time since you've been a student here. This is my first time since COVID. Since COVID. So welcome back, Karen. Thank you. All right, Dr. Gordon, are you ready?
I am in the tradition of Maxine Mims, always ready. You like to hear me sing? Now that I am never ready to do. All right. So here's the music I will provide. It is music to our ears when our young children, like the young one here today, asks us about the past. Nothing we love more than to tell them about the past. But what do you do? What do you do when a 93-year-old wants to talk to you about the future? It is a true honor to sit among elders, to sit with and hear Janet Cato, to hear Betsy Diffendal, to hear Joy Hardiman, and to hear Maxine Mims, not to romanticize an imagined past, not to reflect on glory days of the past, but to be grounded in those days and to talk about the future. And so I am here just reveling in the honor of sitting and hearing the connections with the past, the links with the ancestors, the presence and prospect that the children offer us as together we frame a future together. And so, Dr. Mims, in honor of you, next time I step into my bathroom, I'm going to sing louder than before. God bless you.
That was a good one. Okay, well, we hope you all have been fed. And we just are happy you are here. You're bringing this warm energy into the building. We think that's a good thing. We think it's going to really ignite a great future for us. And we're so grateful that all of you took your Saturday morning to be here. We want to thank you again, Dr. Mims. Thank you so much for founding this college. Yes. Yes, Dr. Maxine Mims. Yes. Yes. And thank you also, Dr. Joy Hardiman, Dr. Betsy Diffendal, Dr. Jan. Thank you so much for laying the foundation for our college. And so with them being present today, we can only be so proud. Now we're asking everyone to gravitate toward the front door. Not that you have to go home. But we do want you on your way out to get a good dance in. This is such a blessing. South Africa is so present in our school today. The Ndebele on the walls, Dr. Mims mentioned Dumi, and now we're going to hear the Zambuco players who are playing the traditional South African instruments of the marimbas. So please get a good dance in. Please enjoy the music, and thank you so much again for coming. All right, see you again soon.